Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Until the very last second, both U.S. Senate candidates here in Kentucky rallied for your votes on Election Day.
In just a matter of minutes, a central Kentucky business went up in flames tonight. We'll hear from those who escaped the burning building.
And new developments in the case against a Kentucky man accused of killing his family. WKYT News at 11 starts now.
Good evening to you. It has been one of the most closely followed U.S. Senate campaigns in the country. And tonight, incumbent Senator Mitch McConnell and challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes had one last message for voters.
Grimes wrapping up her campaign tonight in Lexington, Senator McConnell in Bowling Green. Both made many stops around the state today, hoping to drum up some last-minute support. WKYT's Jarek Insko has the latest from both campaigns in our top story at 11.
Up to the last minute, Kentucky U.S. Senate candidates pushed for votes from Kentuckians. Both Senator Mitch McConnell and his challenger, Allison Lundergan Grimes, held rallies Monday evening for the last time before Election Day. Allison Lundergan Grimes held the final rally in the U.S. Senate race late Monday evening at the Pavilion in downtown Lexington. It's been a long road traveling across Kentucky on the eve of Election Day, ending in her hometown. Like she has all along, Grimes pushed for a change, that change being herself as senator.
And it's been Kentuckians who have been lost in the process. Someone who is constantly trying to elevate himself, all the while pushing Kentucky down. He wants a bigger office. I want you to get a bigger paycheck.
As for Senator Mitch McConnell, he urged voters to keep him, having served 30 years already in the Senate. Senator McConnell's final push was a rally in Bowling Green with his wife and Senator Rand Paul before he headed home to Louisville. He's the Senate's minority leader now, but he hopes that changes after Tuesday.
There is also a distinct advantage to whatever state has the majority leader of the Senate. Because in addition to setting the agenda for the country, I'll be in a position to look out for Kentucky's interests every single day.
Now, these candidates don't agree on much, but they do agree that time has run out and they need your vote on Tuesday. In Lexington, Jarek Insko, WKYT.
The Kentucky U.S. Senate race will be one of many being followed on Election Day tomorrow. Republicans need to gain 6 seats in the Senate to become the majority party there. They already control the U.S. House. Senate races in Georgia and Louisiana are so close there may be runoff elections. Races in North Carolina and Colorado are also being closely followed. Tonight, a White House spokesperson said the president believes Democrats will hold on to the U.S. Senate.
The candidates for Lexington mayor talked to some of their supporters on this election eve. Incumbent Mayor Jim Gray made campaign calls this morning while challenger Anthony Beatty made a radio appearance. Mayor Gray said he has 3 key goals: creating jobs, running government efficiently, and building a great American city. Beatty said if elected, he'll work on forming relationships with the people of Lexington and taking the city to the next level. The candidates in the 6th District congressional race spent election eve going door-to-door talking to Central Kentucky voters. Incumbent Andy Barr said he focused on precincts where the race was close in 2012. Challenger Elizabeth Jensen said she chose precincts to visit where polling showed there are still many undecided voters. And this reminder, the polls will be open from 6 tomorrow morning until 6 at night. You can stay with WKYT throughout the day for complete Election Day coverage. We'll have the first returns as they come in after those polls close. And join us for an election special on the CW Lexington from 6:30 to 8 tomorrow night. We have race results, analysis, and live speeches. And over on WKYT.com, you'll find information on where you can vote and complete results once they come in.
It does not look like the weather will cause any problems on Election Day. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the Election Day forecast.
Yeah, looking pretty good right now with thermometers. That should be similar to what we had out there today. And today's temperature is well up into the 60s. Show you how your day is wrapping up. First Monday of November with some upper 40s and low 50s. So we are obviously several degrees above where we have been over the past several days when we had that taste of winter. What about that Election Day forecast? Out the door tomorrow morning, heading to the polls that open at 6 a.m. Temperatures into the low 40s. Not bad at all. Winds will pick up with a mix mix of sun and clouds around lunchtime. Temperatures low 60s. Let's do it a little better than what we had out there today. A lot of mid to upper 60s, and dare I say a car thermometer or two will hit 70 tomorrow afternoon. Winds warm and a little bit of cloud cover that will begin to increase from west to east. Live First Alert Defender. Nothing going on as of now except those southwesterly breezes that are ushering in that taste of mild weather. Don't get too used to it, though. Old man winter shows back up in the 7-day forecast, not once but twice, when I come back in a matter of minutes.
Tonight, Berea College alerted students and staff to a reported attack on campus. In an email sent to the campus community, Berea College Public Safety said it happened about 11 last night. Authorities say a female student was walking back to the Elizabeth Rogers Residence Hall when a masked man approached her. The student says the man forced her across a parking lot and showed a knife and threatened her. But Public Safety says that the man ran off without hurting the student. They say the man had a scratchy voice and wore a ski mask, black shoes, and a black pullover sweatshirt. Witnesses told us at one point they could see the smoke for miles. Tonight, we're learning more about a fire that destroyed a Scott County business.
As we first told you as breaking news at 6, that fire broke out late this afternoon at A&Z Towing on Industry Road in Georgetown. That's near Interstate 75 and the Toyota plant. We received some eyewitness video of that fire, and you could see flames shooting out of that building and smoke pouring into the sky. Tonight, WKYT's Jordan Valines talked to some people inside the building when that fire broke out.
Why is it that tragedies tend to sneak up on us?
Everybody called today. Yeah. And then this happened.
When we least expect it.
I didn't want to cry what to do.
On Monday,
see, that's after they got here and started putting it out.
Employees at A&Z Towing
Finally sinking in.
looked upon the tragedy that occurred only hours before.
It's gone. I mean, it's gone. Nothing you can do about it.
Their burnt business, now a reminder of how quickly lives can change.
Sounded like a car hitting the building.
In a single moment.
Wasn't nobody in the back.
But it wasn't nobody. We were all in the office. I walked out the back of the office and all I saw was flames. I said, get out. Call 911.
Employees who were inside at the time say after the fire started, it only took about 90 seconds for it to climb up the entire way of the back wall and then across the roof, destroying not only the business, but an apartment that was located above the business as well.
I had no idea if they had
They got the slide out there, what happened. Nobody does.
Despite the large amount of fuel-related flammables inside,
We all safe. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
in the days of cleanup ahead, they plan to remind themselves of the lesson learned in this tragedy.
That's why I take life one day at a time and enjoy the heck out of it. You might not be here tomorrow.
In Scott County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Fire investigators plan to return to the scene tomorrow to determine what caused that fire. Firefighters now say a large fire at a tire recycling plant in Louisville will likely burn for 2 days, but they say it's now contained. That fire broke out this morning at Liberty Tire Recycling, not far from Dixie Highway. At one point, people living nearby were told to shelter in place, but firefighters now say they don't think the fire will pose any significant health hazards to neighbors. A firefighter did suffer a minor injury on the scene, but no one else was hurt. Investigators aren't yet sure what caused that fire.
The family of a murdered Lexington man has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, Alex Johnson's parents filed the lawsuit today. Police say Johnson was killed last December. His body was found in the Kentucky River. The lawsuit claims that 2 people called police after seeing someone being beaten in a car that was leaving the area where Johnson lived. But the suit claims emergency call takers didn't ask enough information and did not properly dispatch police. 2 people have been charged in connection to the murder. A man accused of killing 4 people in western Kentucky made his first court appearance today. Police say that Ryan Champion shot his parents, his sister, and another man in a Trigg County home last week. He's charged with murder and kidnapping. At first, Champion claimed he would have been a victim of the shooting if he hadn't escaped. He could face the death penalty if he's convicted. A judge set a $5 million bond for Champion.
Tonight, we have learned a bed bug has been found inside a state building. Our news partners at the Lexington and Herald Leader report the bug was inside the Cabinet for Health and Family Services building. State leaders say that bug was killed and there is no infestation in the building. They don't know where that bug came from, but the area where it was found was treated.
It has been a really hard year for one UK fan injured in a fall at Rupp Arena. What he says is helping him as he tries to recover.
Also coming up here at 11, a man who coached at a Central Kentucky middle school has been arrested for a crime in another state.
A year after falling in the stands of Rupp Arena, a UK fan is still trying to recover and go home.
Family members say Dickie Gregory is paralyzed from the neck down during an exhibition game at Rupp last year. Gregory fell backward down 6 rows. His wife tells us he's been in 4 different hospitals since and has had 2 surgeries along with other procedures. Gregory says the support of the Big Blue Nation is helping him.
A lot of times you just feel like giving up. But then you get to thinking about all these prayers and people's cards and stuff, and you feel like, well, I can't give up because they're all counting on me.
Gregory is now in a nursing center. His wife hopes that they'll eventually be able to live in a handicap-accessible home.
Some disturbing charges tonight against a man coaching basketball or did coach basketball at Central Kentucky Middle School. Police say that Christopher Evans sent obscene text messages to a girl in South Carolina and wanted to have sex with her. He's now charged with criminal solicitation of a minor in South Carolina. Evans is now under house arrest while he waits to be extradited. Evans coached at Garrett County Middle School. We're also told he worked with AmeriCorps, helping teachers and students at the school. School leaders say he resigned after the arrest. Tonight, Lexington police are investigating a strange burglary at the new Fayette County driver's license office. Police say that sometime over the weekend, a burglar broke open the safe and stole some money from the office on Winchester Road. But employees say the doors of the office were still locked when they got to work this morning. Police say they're not sure how the burglar got inside.
We're looking into who might have been able to get into the building, not breaking open anything, and then who would have known where the safe was and how to get into it.
Police plan to look at surveillance video from nearby offices and businesses to see if those cameras caught anything unusual around the driver's license office.
Tonight, the Carroll County Sheriff has been indicted on 2 charges. The grand jury indicted Sheriff Jamie Kinman for evidence tampering, which is a felony, and official misconduct. Investigators claim Kinman destroyed or concealed evidence that was part of a state police investigation last year. In a lawsuit, a deputy claimed Kinman planted drug evidence in one of the sheriff's department's cars, then retaliated against that deputy for telling state police. Kinman is running for re-election unopposed tomorrow.
A project is underway at Woodford Reserve Distillery that workers say will make their bourbon even better. Woodford Reserve is replacing 1 acre of land near the Woodford County Distillery with native vegetation. Distillery leaders say that will improve the rainfall runoff into the nearby creek. The distillery uses filtered water from that creek to make bourbon, and they say it will help improve the quality of the bourbon.
If we all look after the quality of the environment here in Kentucky, it really does relate back to the quality of the bourbon. It takes more than just one stretch of stream, but if we all do our part, that it'll help protect and grow the business that we love.
Distillery leaders say crisp, clean, iron-free water is critical to making high-quality bourbon.